This is the three-piece Red Fire Dianthus live plants. They have been very, very popular. 2,500 sets picked up in just the last 2 weeks. And if you look at this flower, this is a great way to bring bold, gorgeous, like bodacious color to the front of the border. The Dianthus is actually in the carnation family, so it's like a little tiny carnation. And when you put them in the front of the border, as you can see in these pictures, they're nice and thick and dense. So not only do they choke out weeds, they create a pop in front of all of your other plants. Deer don't like them. You'll enjoy the fragrance, but because they do have this fragrance that deer doesn't like, you don't have to worry about deer. And if you do want to put them in containers, they would be beautiful in containers. So anywhere you get some full sun. We have the cone flowers coming up a little bit later. We also have Barb King's daylilies. We have the dahlia. All of those would work beautifully with the Dianthus. You would just want to put the Dianthus in front. Full sun. Part sun is okay, but if you do put them in part sun, you won't get quite as many flowers. So the more sun you can give them, like 6 hours a day, the more flowers you're going to have. They also, I should mention, don't really like wet soil. So don't keep their feet wet. You don't want them to totally dry out, but because they like soil that's a little bit on the dry side, I want you to look at the picture, that beautiful red with that kind of silvery blue-green leaves. This, imagine with like lavender, right? Or with, if you're someone who, I love Russian sage, if you grow Russian sage or lavender, those soft purples of those plants with this kind of mini carnation in bold red in front would be absolutely spectacular. If you want them, give us a call at 1-800-500-7590. And, you know, although this is not a ground cover per se, in that it's not going to continue to spread and spread and spread, the plants that you will get nice and dense, not only choking out weeds, but giving that pop of color. And they are perennials, so they will come back year after year after year and really reward you with the most beautiful flowers. So I tend to like, in my garden, I grow a lot of what I think of the jewel tones, so kind of like the hot pinks, bright yellows. And then when I can, I always try and sneak in some kind of red and then offset it with something kind of like a little lavender, just to give it like a little relief. So this plant for me personally is one that I want to grow this year, just because I love this idea of color in the front of the border. So often some of our plants that have the best color, like the big showy displays that are really long bloomers, tend to be those black-eyed Susans and you know, our daylilies and the coneflower. So to have something right in front is awesome. Part of the carnation family, and I want to show you how they're going to ship. You're going to get 3 nice sized plants. So they're going to be very dense. You will absolutely get flowers this year. And once you start getting flowers, they're going to bloom this summer, and then they're going to bloom through fall. So once all of your spring bulbs are done, your daffodils, I plant a lot of alliums, once those have started to recede, these are going to be perfect because they're going to give you some blooms until you get that first hard frost. If you want them, give us a call at 1-800-500-7590. But they have been very popular, so beautiful, and they're from Cottage Farms, which is a company that's been around since the 40s and has been on QVC for, oh gosh, I don't know, way more than 20 years. All right, still to come from Ultimate Innovations from Roxanne De Palma.